All right, welcome back to Stock Tricks with Nick for this week's Breakout Watchlist from August 16th to August 20th. In this video, I'll be covering 20 stocks that have breakout potential in the upcoming week. Each of the stocks fit fundamental and technical requirements of mine. They're all going to be above their 200-day simple moving average, which itself isn't an uptrend. They're going to be above their 50-day simple moving average. They're going to be 50% or more above their 52-week low, and they've gone through some type of price tightening. So we're not buying extended stocks, but we are looking for the strongest stocks that are going to get stronger. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, Stock Tricks with Nick, and follow me on StockTwits, Twitter, and TikTok. If you're coming here for a specific setup, I'm going to put timestamps for each of the setups in the comment section below. So make sure you just go there, click on what you need, and get exactly what you want from the video. All right, quick disclaimer. Anything that I talk about is not stock or financial advice. This is all for educational purposes only. Please do your own due diligence before trading. Trading comes with financial risk. Here is the stock lineup for the day, or for the week. We got 20 stocks for you. I'm not going to spend too much time on this screen because we'll be going over their charts and fundamental analysis in a little bit here. But from the 4 stocks that you have the stars here, CCRN, Facebook, Shopify, and Square. You guys can vote on your favorite setup on my Twitter account, StockTrickNick. So make sure once you're done with the video, go to Twitter and vote on your favorite setup. All right, let's get to it. So if you're tuning in for the first time, this doesn't surprise you, but anyone who has seen my prior videos knows that we've been breaking down charts on E-Trade. This is not the E-Trade platform. This is called MarketSmith. It's a new tool that I got a 6-week trial to, so I'm going to be testing it out and seeing if you guys like it. So if you enjoy the video using MarketSmith, drop a comment, let me know in the comment section. All right, first we'll start with ALGN, and we're going to start with the fundamentals and then go to the technical setup. So first, earnings per share, we have growth and acceleration in that. We have 52% increase, 48%, 241%, and then 969% this past quarter. On the sales side, we have that growth and acceleration as well, 21%, 28%, 62%, 187%. So from a fundamental standpoint, ALGN doing incredibly well. They've upped their guidance and there's good fund ownership. So with all that said, we have the fundamentals on our side. Let's look at the technicals. We just had a breakout last week or 2 weeks ago on high volume, increase in volume. We've broken out, we've pulled back here, had a move higher on Thursday, and then had an inside candle on Friday. So as that's consolidating a little bit on Friday, what I would be looking for is more consolidation down to the right here. If it just breaks out over Thursday's high, the high there would be 705.84. That would be buyable. But ideally, we do get a little bit more of a pullback and price range tightening up there. That's ALGN, definitely one that checks the boxes. The only thing with ALGN that isn't incredible is the group strength. Right now, medical products are 105 out of 197 groups, so kind of middle of the pack there. If we can align the strongest stocks in the strongest groups, higher probability with the trade. But that's ALGN. Next, we have AN. This one will go, again, fundamentals first. We have 102% earnings per share growth, then 94, 207, 243. So nice, really rapid growth in earnings per share. On the sales side, we actually went from -1 in September of 2020 to +4%, +27%, and +54%. So we have that acceleration on the sales side as well. They've upped their guidance for 2021 and 2022, and fund ownership is increasing as well. So with this, similar to ALGN, we recently had a strong breakout on very high volume after earnings here. We had this mini kind of breakout from that point, that consolidation area. Since then, we've pulled back and we're tightening up here. With this one, I would want to be looking at a break over Thursday's high. That's 119.08 as a possible buy point. But if we can get Monday, Tuesday just to kind of trade sideways or even undercut the lows in this pullback, that would be ideal. Shake out the weaker hands and then set up the trade. That's what we've been noticing most often for the higher probability trades. You do have that shakeout in the pullback that really clears the deck and then forces everyone to buy back as the stock's shooting up. So if we could get that shakeout, that'll increase the probability with the trade. But that's AN. Next, we have ARLP. Let's take a look fundamentals first. So not super strong in September, minus 50% earnings per share, but we have turned that around, plus 35% the next quarter, plus 90%, now plus 192%. That was earnings per share. On the sales side, again, rough last September, minus 23%, then minus 19, minus 9, plus 42. So we did get that deceleration um, of the sales kind of falling off, and now we've flipped the switch, had an increase in sales in the most recent quarter. Um, so not as strong as ALGN or AN fundamental wise, but we're getting there. With this, it's all about group strength. Energy and coal is the number one group coming from last week. So we have the group strength. We have the stock in a strong uptrend. We have the 200-day, the 50-day right here. We had this pullback, consolidated area, moved out. That might have been a better buy point, but we are looking at a new yearly high. So a break over the high, let's see, I think it's 839. Yeah, 839 would be a possible buy point with this one, ARLP. Next, we have CAMT. Fundamentals first. Earnings per share, 38%, 50%, 267, 138 for the previous 4 quarters. Sales, 23%, 46%, 90%, 80%. You do have that acceleration in sales growth. And margins are up slightly as well. We do have increase in the guidance for 2021 and 2022, which is a good thing. And fund ownership is increasing as well. So it's checking a lot of the boxes. Similar to ALGN, the one thing holding this back is the group strength, 161 out of 197, very kind of on the weaker side of the groups. With this, we kind of have an inverse head and shoulders here. You had the left shoulder, the head, and now this is tightening up on the right side here. Hopefully checking back before another breakout. So with this one, I would be looking for a break over Friday's high. 38.42 is a possible buy point with CAMT. Next, we have CCRN. This one, 140%, 171%, and then off the charts, over 1,000% earning per share growth compared to last March, and then 194% this previous quarter in June. On the sales side, it went from -7, 0, plus 57, plus 53, so increase in sales, which is good. And margins are about steady, plus 20%, around plus 20% each quarter. With this one, we had an earning per share, or earnings called POP. Let's see, what day was that? August 5th. Since then, you see this nice consolidation through here, and we're pulling back right above the previous left side of the cup here. So when you have those pullbacks that you're just buying the break over the previous high, you want to be sitting on top of the previous high in the base. That increases the probability of the trade there. So we have a nice orderly decline here, very low volume in that pullback compared to the earnings pop. So with this, just to get aggressive, I would look for a break over Friday's high. That would be 1903 as a possible buy point, and then you could keep your stop loss below the low and get a nice tight stop loss. That's CCRN. If you guys are enjoying the video, please leave a like and let me know what stocks that you guys are watching going into next week so I can be prepared as well. Next, we have DAC. This one, you could see a very strong uptrend. You have the 200-day, the 50-day. Since we tapped out, when was that? July. We've pulled back, we undercut the 50-day, and now we're tightening up right through that range. So jumped to the technicals because I saw that clean uptrend, but fundamentals, we went from earnings per share minus 22% to plus 14, plus 111, plus 95. So you have that nice acceleration of earnings per share. Sales, similar, plus 6%, plus 9%, plus 24%, plus 25%. You do have that nice increase in sales. We also have a increase in the guidance for 2021 and 2022, always good to see, and fund ownership is increasing as well. This is forming what it's calling a cup right here. We have Thursday and Friday both inside candles after Tuesday's kind of push higher, and then we've consolidated. What I would be looking for is a break over the high 73.55, the high from Wednesday, right through there. DAC. Next, we have Facebook. Facebook earnings per share plus 13%, plus 52, plus 93, plus 101%. Really strong growth there. Sales 22%, 33%, 48, 56. An increase in sales and acceleration of sales. They've increased their guidance. All good things coming from Facebook. We had this base from last September to when was that? About April, where we just traded sideways, sideways, sideways. Finally broke out of that, and since then we've been bouncing at the 50-day simple moving average each time we pulled back. Last week we had a little push higher, and then we've consolidated sideways. So I'll be looking for a break over this range, 365-ish as a possible buy point, just the high from the previous week. That's Facebook. Wanted to point out also after the bounce, the sideways trading action, very, very low volume. It's Facebook. Next we have ISEE. This one, not as good fundamentals. Actually, the fundamentals don't show up on this, so we'll just talk from a technical standpoint on this one. We had a very high volume breakout from $6 to $10. Since then, we did have a shakeout under the low, consolidated, popped, and then we had 1, 2, 3, 4 days where the stock just traded down into the right on very, very light volume. So as that's pulling back, I would look for a break over Friday's high, which would be 960 as a possible buy point, and then keep the stop as tight as possible. If this continues down, then we'll wait until buyers step in and really prove that the sellers are exhausted. But with this little volume that I'm seeing on this sell-off after a nice pop here, it's something that I want to keep an eye out for. ISEE. Next we have LAD. So LAD, we had 103% earnings per share growth, then 85%, 193, 199. Sales 9, 21, 55, 118. You get that acceleration of sales. Margins have been about plus 18% the past 4 quarters. Increased their guidance, increased their guidance 21, 22. So that's that on a fundamental standpoint. Group strength 92 out of 197, kind of middle of the road there. Nothing super special about that. But what this is doing nicely, it's finally gotten over that 50-day moving average, and now that 50-day is starting to curl back up in an uptrend as well. Moved higher, and then we had 3 days of consolidation on lighter volume. I would be looking for a break over Friday's high, 378.71 is a possible buy point. LAD. Next we have MIME. Earnings per share 146, 136, 87.45. So although we're increasing earnings per share, it's not accelerating at how much we're increasing. Kind of I'd say yellow flag, not a red flag on that. Sales 19%, 18%, 17, 24%, kind of just increasing at a steady pace, not accelerating there. But they have increased guidance 21, 22. We have this nice big cup, moved higher, and now we're basically at the brim of the cup here. I wouldn't be surprised if this kind of trades down for next week. If it doesn't just break into the new high, that would be my buy point, 59.80, 59.48, the previous high here. If we just trade down, allow that 50-day simple moving average to catch up, that might even be better for the setup, but wanted to put this on the radar. MIME. Computer software, it was group 77 out of 197. Next we have MRVL. Fundamentals, very strong, 31% earnings per share growth, then 47%, 71, 61. Sales, 11%, up 13, up 11, up 20, pretty consistent there. And then they did increase guidance for 2022 and 2023. With MRVL, this does have earnings in 2 weeks. So with earnings, you need a profit cushion to hold into earnings, but this is setting up pretty nicely. We had this nice move up, pulled back, tightened up in this range, and had an inside day on Friday. I would be looking for a break over Thursday's high. That would be 60.99 as a possible buy point there. MRVL. Next, we have PAG, and I wanted to thank Brandon on Twitter, brought this to my attention, so thank you, made it to the breakout watch list. PAG up 99% earnings per share, then 99, 240, and then 698. So you have that nice acceleration. Sales, we went 0, -1, 15, and then 91 this past quarter. So that's good to see as everything's starting to reopen again. Hopefully things don't shut down. Penske can continue on. So that is the fundamentals. They have increased guidance for 21 and 22, which is good to see. This is forming a nice kind of cup and handle through here. Thursday and Friday, very tight price action. I would just be looking for a break over Thursday's high of 90.50 as a possible buy point here. This is PAG. Group rating 92 out of 197, right in the middle there. Next we have POWI. All right, earnings per share 3%, up 46%, 100%, 152%. Have that earnings per share growth and acceleration. Sales 6%, 32%, 58%, and 69%. You got that acceleration of sales as well. They've increased their guidance for 2021 and 2022, and fund ownership has been steadily increasing. With this one, this just had a strong earnings gap up and push out on very high volume. Let's see, what was the volume on that? 340% the average volume on that move higher, which is nice to see. It is consolidating up here right at the previous kind of high, which you like to see, and it's right around $100, which is a psychological barrier. Right now it's sitting at 98.50. I would be looking for a break into $100 at this point, but if we trade sideways or down to the right, then we can get a tighter entry point. Maybe you take it with just a high over 98.50, the high from Friday. That'd be a little bit aggressive, but definitely one to watch. POWI. Next, we have RMBS. We have 167% earnings per share growth, then 150, 67, and then this last quarter 600%. So really popped on earnings this quarter. Sales, we went from -1 to 3 to 7 to 37. We're starting to see that acceleration of sales, and they have increased their guidance for 2021, but brought down guidance a little bit in 2022. We had this nice consolidation area, broke out on the earnings pop, and since then we've pulled right back down. So similar to, what was it, CCRN, if you're buying just a strict pullback in breakout, you want that pullback to be coming back to sit on the previous base, the high of the previous base. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. Inside day on Friday. So I would be looking for a break over Friday's high, which would be 24.24 as a possible buy point for RMBS. Next, we have Shopify. This is one that shook me out last week, but we'll get to that in a second. Fundamentals first. Earnings per share 490%, 267%, 958%, 113%. Obviously, with everything shut down last year, they had great earnings year over year. So is that going to slow down a little bit? Maybe, but I mean, 113% compared to last June is still incredible for Shopify. Sales 96% increase, 94%, 110%, and then in this last quarter, we only saw a 57% increase in sales. But I mean, that's still 57% increase. So we pulled back, tightened up. I bought just a break over the previous day's high and got shaken out on that. Since then, we did pull back and we shook out the lows in that pullback, found support right at the 50-day simple moving average, had an inside candle on Friday. So I would be looking for a break over Friday's high, 1505 as a possible buy point, and then you could keep your stop at Thursday's low, very low risk entry point on that. That's Shopify. We have 5 more for you guys. Next, we have Skechers, SKX. Skechers went earnings per share -30, -13, and then flipped the switch, plus 84%, plus 267%. Sales -4, 0, 15, 127%. And then they are in a very strong group right now. They're 5th ranked out of 197. They've increased their guidance for 2021 and 2022. They just had earnings and that popped. We've now consolidated very nicely. I would be looking for a break over Friday's high, which would be 53.86 as a possible buy point, and then put your stop below the low in this flag. If we could get just a quick flush, like I said earlier, shake out all the weaker hands in this, and then they have to buy back as the stock's moving back over this pivot, that would increase the probability of the trade. Maybe you kind of require that, especially with the choppy market that we've been in. But good setup, nice flagging out here after earnings with good volume. Skechers. Next, we have Snapchat. And I was stopped out of Snapchat on Friday. Did not get a very good entry to a previous trade, but doesn't mean I want to throw it away. Just because I got stopped out doesn't mean it can't set up and break out. No hard feelings. You got to stick with your risk management rules. So earnings per share, we've had 125%, 200%, 113%, and then 211. Very strong earnings per share growth. Sales 52% increase, 62%, 66, and 116. So not only do you have that increase in sales, you have the acceleration as well. They've increased guidance for 2021 and 2022. Fund ownership is up, and they're in a strong group, 18 out of 197, doing all the right things. Just needs to consolidate a little bit more here. We've had lower lows the past 3 trading days, but on very light volume. So although it hit my stop and I honored my stop, doesn't mean I won't get back in. I'd be looking for a break over Friday's high, 75.85 as a possible buy point. But on these pullback buys, I want to require that you see a volume spike when you're going over that previous high. So it's not just you buying at that price, it's either institutions or it's a bunch of different swing traders all getting in at that same price. So you don't just get in and then it sells off. So kind of zooming into those 1 minute, 5 minute candles as the stock's going over your preferred buy point is a good way to kind of increase probability on the trade. So that's Snapchat. Got 3 more for you. Square is next. Earnings per share 36%, 39%, and then 1,000% and 267%. Very strong. Sales 140%, 141%, 266%, 143%. Nice strong sales increase. Margins are increasing still, 31, 26, 25, 19, but they are decelerating at this point, which is a yellow flag. They've increased guidance for 2021, 2022, and the fund ownership has increased as well. This one had earnings a couple weeks ago, moved higher on earnings, checked back, got a good volume bounce, another 2 days of consolidation, good volume bounce, and now we are pulling back to that second pullback range. Inside day on Friday, I would be looking for a break over Thursday's high, 272.84 as a possible buy point on Square. Group strength, not super strong, 139 out of 197. Next, we have Team, TEAM. Earnings per share, 7%, 0, 92, and then -4. Sales increased, though, 26%, 23, 38, 30, and margins are extremely high in the 80s. They've increased guidance for 2022 and 2023. We did have this pop on earnings. We had that shakeout. Consolidation area, and then Thursday or a move higher Thursday, consolidated Friday, right at the top of the flag there. I would be looking for a break over Thursday's high, which would be 340.77 as a possible buy point on this one. Pretty strong group, 65 out of 197. So it says group strength B rating there. That's a cool thing about MarketSmith. They do have like all these like group ratings, accumulation, distribution rating, composite rating. So gives you a lot of stats about each of the stocks that I am learning. Next we have, and finally, last stock with ZI. Earnings per share 120%, 140, 160, 100%. Sales 56%, 53, 50, 57. Very consistent in that growth. Same with their profit margins, 78%, 81, 81, 83. We had that nice pop on earnings, huge volume compared to the 50-day average there. Since then, we've pulled back, tightened up, and we had an inside day right at the top of the candle, similar to Team on Friday. I'd be looking for a break over Thursday's high, 62.91 as a possible buy point there. I forgot to mention they did increase their guidance for 2021 and 2022, and fund ownership has increased. So with this, yeah, Thursday's high would be my possible buy point. If we have more days trading down and to the right, that's perfectly fine. You don't have to take the trade. If it's pulling back, you want to be buying on strength, not weakness. All right, that's going to be the breakout watch list for the week. We just covered 20 stocks with good fundamentals and technical setups. Make sure you go to my Twitter account, StockTrickNick, to vote on your favorite setup out of CCRN, Facebook, Shopify, and Square. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. I make one breakout watch list video on Sunday. I'm going to start doing live streams again on Wednesday, and some more personal finance videos in the works. If you don't yet have a brokerage, check out Webull. If you sign up, you get a free stock between $3 and $300, and just by depositing $5 more, you get another stock between $8 and $2,000. Link in the description of this video. All right, have a great trading week, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday.